Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Neil and today we're checking out the Schecter Diamond Series Banshee GTFR. So first of all, I just want to say something about this guitar. I had quite big expectations for this guitar before it arrived, because when they were first launched in 2020, they caught my eye. There was a purple model, a blue model, this red one, and there was also like a charcoal see-through black model as well. They looked absolutely fantastic. They really caught my eye and I almost ordered one. If it wasn't for me already having quite a few guitars on back order that I needed to pay for already, I probably would have been playing one of these right back in 2020. Also, I'd just like to say that I instantly bonded with this guitar as soon as I picked it up. Like some guitars you can just bond with straight away. If they suit you, you just know as soon as you pick it up and you hold it. Some guitars just have that effect on you where you bond with them straight away and you know that you're going to be fine on that guitar and you know you're going to love it. So the first time I plugged this in and started playing this guitar, I noticed that it is blisteringly fast. Like, it is the fastest guitar that I've ever played in my life. Now at the moment, I've been struggling with a bit of an injury and I've not been playing guitar much at all, so my playing is off the mark, and I know it's off the mark. Knowing that I've not spent much time on guitar, there's certain licks and certain things that I would not have probably gone for while playing the guitar that I felt the guitar played easily enough and fast enough for me to be able to go for, you know, some fast runs and even some arpeggios and things what usually I wouldn't go for when I've had so much time off guitar. A lot of people who play this guitar also say that it is a super fast guitar. That is probably why Schecter gave it the GT name tag. I believe the reason that this guitar is so fast is not just because of the ultra thin body, that I will just show you right now how thin the body actually is. That does make it easy to play and nice, and it is one of the most comfortable bodies that I've ever played, but it's the neck that makes this thing so fast. You're probably expecting me to tell you that this neck is super flat and super thin, and it is not. It's kind of like a broomstick feel to it. I've got quite small hands, so for me, I struggle with ultra wide and thick necks. This guitar is a thin U shape, but when they call it thin, I don't think they necessarily mean thin as in, you know, this thin this way here. I think that they're referring to probably this way because the actual board is super thin. I wanted to check the specs of the fingerboard because I believe that the reason this guitar plays so fast is because of the actual width of the board. The nut width on this guitar is 41.3 millimeters. I usually play much quicker on 42 millimeters, rather than a 43 millimeters. That makes sense to me why this guitar feels so fast. You know, the strings are closer together, everything's tinier, you know, I can get my hand around fully wherever I want to play because I have quite small hands. I would absolutely 100% recommend this guitar if you are a player that does have small hands and likes, you know, less space to move around and doesn't require a big wide fretboard. I would recommend this guitar for you guys because I believe it will make you play a lot quicker and easier. Right, let's talk about the specs of the guitar now. We've got a Floyd Rose Special trem here, and they call this the hot rodded Floyd Rose Special. This is exclusive to Schecter guitars, I believe. All these parts here, as you can see, the screws have stainless steel screws in. Same with the nut up there. The other thing that's been hot rodded is the trem arm. It slots in and out. It's not got a collar like most Floyd Rose Special trems. I didn't realise how much I don't like collars on my trems, even the 1000s, until I started using one of these again. It just fits straight in. It's super snug and super tight. I can hardly get it in. It's that tight. And it just stays. Where you leave it, it stays there, you know, like it's supposed to do. And when you have a collar, quite often they don't, and you constantly find yourself between songs, you know, fiddling with the collar, making sure it's tight. You don't do that with this guitar. There's also a brass block in the back of the Floyd Rose Special trem, which is quite an expensive upgrade there, I think, for them to put on. I'm surprised it's actually got one on. The rest of the trem is just like a normal Floyd Rose Special. When you use the fine tuners on the Floyd Rose Special, that is when you can actually tell it is a Floyd Rose Special and it's not a 1000. They're not quite as smooth as you find them on 1000s or 1500s, but they still do their job. I absolutely love EMG pickups, for those of you that don't know, and it's really nice to have some back in my collection. This is an EMG 81 Classic, and this is a 60, and obviously they're in bright red. Every colour that you buy this guitar in, the pickups are matched with the body colour, which I think is great. I think it's time now that EMG started putting coloured pickups out there, you know, similar to like Damasio do, that you can actually order for your guitar, because who wouldn't? You know, if you've got a blue guitar or whatever, who wouldn't put blue pickups in? I think it sets it off and it looks really nice. Something else I absolutely love about this guitar are the Roman numeral inlays. I actually prefer the Roman numeral inlays on this Schecter than the other Schecters because they're offset to one side. I think that looks better. I think I prefer that to them actually down the middle like they are on the Evil Twins. This guitar is a set neck design, which is quite rare for super strats, but it's really, really well done. I'll just show you the seam if I can, really close there. It's really nice. It's a mahogany body, and I think it's a 3-piece maple neck. Don't call me out if I get that wrong, but I think it is a 3-piece maple neck. It's made in Indonesia. It's the first Indonesian Schecter that I've ever played. All the other Schecters that I've played are Korean and have been absolutely great guitars. I've never played a bad Schecter. You know, I've only owned one Schecter, but I've never played a bad one. I even ended up recording a single once with a Schecter that was just there in the studio because I liked it, and it sounded a hell of a lot bigger, better, and played nicer than the guitars that I took to the studio. And I think I took about 5 guitars that day. So always been a big fan of Schecter guitars. The body is super thin, like I say. It's contoured on the back. The top of it is ultra thin, and obviously it's got an arch top, as you can see there, to it. But there's a belly cut on the back, and this is what I mean about when you're sat down with a Schecter and you look around, there's intricate little details, little things they've added to the guitar and done that they didn't have to do, but really make the guitar feel special. This belly cut here on the bottom, you know, probably doesn't do anything, probably not needed, but it does make the guitar feel like a lot more attention to detail has been put into it, a lot more time and effort has been put into designing it. Same way that the volume and tone controls, they're beveled in there, around there, they're sunk into the body, so they're a bit lower than usual. Absolutely love that feel when the controls are sunk into the body. You can adjust your truss rod here up high rather than down there with a horrible piece of plastic on there. As you guys know, I can't stand plastic on guitars at all. In my opinion, every guitar above £500 should have the truss rod adjustment there, not up there. The frets on this thing are extra large jumbo. Now, I'm not too fussy about my fret size like some people are. I can actually play medium frets and get on just fine with them. One thing I will say about these extra large jumbo frets is that pull-offs are super easy on them. That's the first thing that I noticed, and there's probably a bit of overkill going on with the pull-offs in this demo. So I've been playing this guitar for 4 days now, and it's not wearing off. You know, the novelty's not wearing off. I've noticed that these have, particularly the red model, have been for sale in Black Friday deals and are reduced to $8.99. It's a lot of guitar for $8.99, and you won't regret it if you get one. I really hope that that's not a sign that Schecter are going to do away with this model, because the body is just perfect. It just feels perfect, the body and the neck. You know, maybe if they bring out some different colours, something like that, maybe a fixed bridge version for guys that like fixed bridges. But I really hope that they don't get rid of this model. You know, even if they just take the stripes off and give it a rebrand, that's fair enough. But I don't want them to lose this body shape, you know, all the contours and this absolutely amazing neck. So for those of you that wonder what I've been using for all of jamming bits in this demo, I've been using a MOOER G300 straight into the camera. However, now I'm going to hook this up to my PEAVEY 6505 Plus. And the reason I'm going to do that, and the reason I've picked that amp, is because for me, EMGs, a Tube Screamer, a PEAVEY, and Celestion V30s in your cab are a classic metal combination, and they always sound great together, and they have done for a long time. A lot of albums have been recorded that way. So that's how we're going to see out the end of the video. Please do not forget to subscribe, and I can tell you that there is going to be more Schecters coming to the channel, which I am absolutely super stoked about. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you all soon.